We're back now with the lumber that I need to fix the corner, the place where people in the past actually cut corners and skated on adding in a 2x4 that they really should have. So let's get this cut. So we're going to have to build in this entire corner here, to me anyway. So we're going to build a piece here. I need a piece that's just under 12 inches. And I'll probably only have to make one cut because the other piece I can fit in there. And this doesn't have to be precision. So I think I ran out of nails or screws to screw these in. Let's see if I got some. So I'm just going to nail these in here. Now the trick is how to nail these in. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to nail right on this corner here and nail it into that other board, even though I guess I could nail it into this one here. This board is kind of flippy floppy, and so I'm not going to do that. So let's go ahead and do it on the other one here. I might pull it out and start the nails. I'm just doing this right on the edge, or right on the corner here. And you can see it's going to be kind of tough to get that in there, but we'll whack it in. We'll get it done. See, what happened is my nail bent because it's going into this extremely hard piece of 2x4 that's been there for 125 years. Better whack at it, see if I can get it in. Try another one. So those are pretty darn flush in there. You might not be able to see from that angle. So they'll go right in here in this edge. But I'm going to go ahead and put a couple more nails on this other 2x4 that's here, the older one. One's kind of flippy floppy. Hope he doesn't split on me. So now when I nail in this corner, I have something to nail to there. And then we're going to take another board, and this one we're going to nail to this side to accomplish the same thing, right? Move it up as far as I can here. Starter nail. So now, when I put my sheetrock on, I can nail to this wall and I can nail to this wall. So we actually have some material to nail to there. And those are just some of the things that you should fix when you're doing remodeling. If you don't, you know, you're just gonna have some headaches. So once again, you need to fix those things as you go along. All right, next we're going to set all the outlets and where all the electrical wiring is going to go. And then I'll drill the holes for all the wiring to be fed through. Now, what I'm going to do is when I put in outlets, I usually like to, I do a lot of doubles. And you can take a simple single outlet box like this, and you can join them together. So you just undo the screw that's here on the top. I take the gloves off. You just take the screw off. And then this little plate, the side comes off like that. And then you do it to the other box and make sure they're the same depth. Then you pull the cover off of it, like that. And then you're just going to put them together like this, and then you screw the box together, and voila, you have a double box. However, there it is. You got to have both screws to do it. Now, granted, this is a pretty small room, so I really don't do. That just doesn't want to stay in, does it? There we go. And that's how you make a double gang box. Now I can make a triple, quadruple, etc. by just taking each of these side plates off and then continue to join them together, and I can have a really long box. But once again, since it's a small room, I probably won't put that many doubles in. As a matter of fact, I'm only going to put one in here, I think. So I'll put a double right here on this corner, which is closest to the door, which will most likely not be buried. And you can put these in with screws or with nails. I usually use screws. Now, one thing that you need to be aware of is in this room with the extra tall baseboard, I need to go measure how tall that is so that I don't get the outlet inside the baseboard. So this is about 11 inches up. So I got to make sure I have the outlet at least 12 inches up on the tape measure. And this could be a little bit of a challenge because I have those. So I got to cut these off because they're going to be in my way. So we'll just do that real quick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave them going across this 2x4 so that I have the proper spacing when I put on the sheetrock. So if we measure up, remember we've got to be at least 11 is the very top, so we're going to have to be, at least 12. I think I'm even going to go up to 13 inches here, just so we have enough gap there. Hopefully it'll fit. Now, it's not going to fit unless I take that next board out. So I'm going to have to take another piece of lath out. Now the issue I'm facing here right now is where this plate is, it's actually going to leave this box just a little too far or back farther than I want it to be, because the lath is in the way to put this on there. So I gotta figure out what to do with that. So I either have to put the outlet box lower, or I've got to cut something to get it up there. One way or the other. Now this, let's see how high we are. Remember, we got to be up at least 11. Well, the outlet cover is going to sit right on there, so we may even have to go along here and take off another layer of lath just to get this outlet cover up to where we need to. And that I didn't exactly plan for, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. So we're going to take our little nifty blocker here, and we're going to go take another layer of plaster up, so that we can get our outlets up. And because I want to have a straight line-ish for where my plaster break is, we're going to use this board again. So. I think that screw is ripped. Now I'll reiterate while I'm on here that I can't take messages or communicate back because I'm a one-man show. So for some reason I lost all my long screws. Well, I'm probably going to have to go up higher even on this because I just can't get those outlets on this particular part. This wall over here I can. Pretty sure we're safe here. Yeah, but I gotta go up higher on that one. So, probably gonna have to cut that piece of wood off so that I can move my line there. So, do that. So I've got to go up one more piece of lath here. I don't know if you can see it here at the camera angle, but right here is where the roof line is. The porch. And now that I took off the lath, you may or may not be able to see it, but there's actually a line right here where the air just flows right through the wall. And that's why we it got cold. So we'll change that. And I'm changing my mind. I'm just going to put single gang on this, and I'll put one by the door, put one back here, one over there, and probably call that good. Because it is a small room, so I just can't imagine people need that much. So I'm changing my mind. And then I'll probably regret doing it, but you know, that's the way it is. But the boxes aren't ruined, you know, you just put them back together the way they were, so. All right. So now let's go attach these. We're going to put one back here in this corner. And here's our 12-inch mark. We're going to make sure that they're above that. I'm going to double measure just to make sure that's 12 inches. Yeah. Change positions. Realistically, you need to have these, since we have existing lath on the wall, these outlets really need to be 3/4 of an inch out so that they match the sheetrock surface. Because you have a 1/4 inch for your lath and then a 1/2 inch for your sheetrock. So, and these things sticking out aren't going to matter because we're actually going to put a piece of lath vertically on each of these 2x4s. So that we have the correct spacing in there. All right. Do the same thing here. Just make sure it's 12 inches up. I gotta make this little apart again so I don't screw up. I may have to undo that other one because it might not be out far enough. All right. Take a piece of lath here and we'll check it out. See you later. Yeah, it's a good thing I checked that. I've got to unscrew that one because it's just a little too deep. And I hate the outlets when construction people do that and they the hole is in the wrong place or the outlet box is too far back. It's just bad or inability to put things where they should be. So we're going to fix it. So if I have this lath, which is what I'm going to put on there, and then the sheetrock, so that needs to be ½ inch back there. There you go, better. Except I'm not the right height. There you go. Now let's try screwing it in. Down here at this other end. So we're going to take it apart down there. Now the issue here is we have this radiator here that's going to be going back in. And so we need to make sure that we have our outlet that doesn't end up behind the radiator. Ideally, I'd like to have it back a little bit farther, but there's just no way for me to get into that wall without taking it apart, and I'm not taking that wall apart. So we're not going to do it that way. We'll just put it underneath the window here. Well, I didn't necessarily want to do it, but I'm probably going to have to take this piece of trim off on the bottom just to get my outlet into place. And that's not something I wanted to do, but I'll probably have to. Either that or I have to go to the other side of the window and do that spot, which might be, I guess I'll just probably do that. So I'm just going to go to the other side of the window. Let's do that. And this wall here has got some issues, so hope you don't break it up too much here. Okay. So now I can put the wire, string it amongst all of these. The real challenge is going to be feeding it up through the wall into the attic. And what I'm probably going to do is just cut a hole up there in the corner. And, whoops. Oh, it's supposed to come off like that. Ding dong. All right. Yeah, so we'll cut a hole up top there, and then we'll feed the wire through. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and drill all these holes, and then we'll insulate in this section. So what I have here, this is a drill motor. Now all my tools except for that DeWalt are corded. I just think it's kind of a, I mean, I know it's convenient to have batteries, but you know, you got to charge them, and they actually cost more when you have the stuff that has the batteries. They actually have to have precious materials in them, and you know, that's just not. I just don't want to do that. That's just another thing to buy, and I'm not buying it. It's just not doing it. So I'm not gonna. Some power here. Matter of fact, I got this drill motor because the company where I bought it, they were getting rid of all of their corded tools, and so I got a discount on it. So, you know, whatever. I might mention there's a couple of different kind of boring bits you can get. You can get this kind that has a little screw in the end and then makes a nice clean hole. Or you can get one of these, if I can get it out, with this kind of end. Either one will work. I don't know, I just use these ones a lot, and so, but either one will really work. The thing about these ones is I've actually sharpened these ones. These ones, I don't know that you can resharpen them. I think maybe there's a way to do it. I just don't know how to do it. Now the corner is a trick. So you basically, you have to drill in from this direction and from this direction. I don't know if you saw that. You have to drill in from this side and drill in from this side and kind of make a match. Or you can do a notch and then you put a nail plate over the top of it so that you don't put a nail in your wiring. So my choice looks like is to put a nail plate on, and we'll call it good. All right. Now that we have all the holes drilled, now we need to feed the wire through to all the outlets. I'm using 12-2 wire. A lot of people, what they do is they use 12-2 for the outlets and 14-2 for the lighting. When I do house wiring, I just keep it all at 12-2. Yes, you could save money if you do 14-2 on part of it, but because of the copper, especially today, copper is pretty expensive. However, I just do the 12-2 on everything. And then it really doesn't matter as much what circuit breakers I put in there, other than meaning I need to put the correct circuit breaker, which is a 20 amp circuit breaker, on 12-2 wire. And if you're using 14-2 wire, you'd use a 15 amp breaker. Hammer. Now, when you're wiring outlets, you need to make sure that you have at least 6 inches sticking out of the box. And a good safety tip is always make sure that you have your ground wire grounded to your box. So there's a little screw that you put back there. And if you're doing that, then you want to make sure that you have, at least 8 inches that's sticking out of your box. There's just a little tab on the bottom that you got to pull out. So I'll show you with this one. These little things you got to pull out for the whatever wires you're going to use there. In this particular box, we're going to have 2 wires going into it. So we got to take 2 of them out, and then you just string it up through the box. And we're just going to leave it, sticking out for now, and then we'll just tuck it back in. We aren't actually going to hook it up yet. One thing that you want to do is whenever you do your wiring, yes, it does have a strain relief on the inside, but make sure you also staple when you can. And when you staple, you need to have the staple no farther than 5 inches away from your box. Like that. I'm going to tuck it in the corner here. We'll move on over to the other outlet here. Guess how much we need to cut off. And it's okay if you have a little extra. Just try not to have too much extra, because it's a waste of wire to have too much. Now this one I can actually tighten down in the box, because I don't have any more wire that's going in this one. Now when you take your outer jacket off, you want to make sure you have at least 1 inch inside the box. we're just gonna tuck these in for the into the box for now. We're not gonna worry about putting outlets on it. For now, we're just gonna get it out of the way for sheetrocking and for plastering. Now we have to feed another piece of wire. Down to the next outlet. Screwdriver, hammer, remember at least 6 inches. And if you do 8 or a little bit more, that's fine. Bottom one I can tighten because the wire is going to come down from the top for the next one. Go down back down to this end. We'll cut the wire off. We can tighten this box up. Take the outer jacket off. going to leave an inch inside. And we're just going to tuck this up inside until we get to it later. There's obviously quite a bit of wire in this one, so there won't be this much wire when we get finished with it. All right. So that's that. I need to get the plates there and put those on the 2x4s at some point. But next we're going to go ahead and get this insulation in so we can get that done and out of the way. And then this room will get a lot warmer really fast as soon as I stop the cold air from blowing in. But first I got to clear all my holes back out that I vacuumed out, so that's next. Another thing I have to do, and I can do that now too, is I have to make these spacers that go on all these 2x4s for the sheetrock. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take the lath that we pulled off and we're just going to cut pieces of it and then nail them onto each 2x4. Well, this doesn't have to be rocket science, so. Now, if I was doing actual lath and plaster again, I wouldn't be putting on these spacers like this. You just have to make sure they stay in place until you get the sheetrock on. So just a couple of nails is fine. And I usually just use the nails that came out of the board if I didn't put them all the way first. You just got to do all of them. Now remember, I have to put on metal plates in this corner. So yes, I'm putting this on here for now, but I will actually go put on a metal plate. And what you do is whenever the wire is closer than an inch to the face or the surface of the wood, then you need to put in a nail plate. gloves are almost getting in the way here because they're too thick for these little nails. And I just have to do it to every spot. Gotta lose the gloves. Gotta go around to the other side here. So we've got all the spacers in on this side so that when we put sheetrock, it'll match the plaster. So we got to continue on this side all the way down there. Jeez. It hurts. Funky one. So if you're coming in right now, what I'm doing is I'm putting in spacers in preparation for putting the sheetrock back on. And what I'm using is just the lath that I pulled off the wall and just cutting it in pieces, and then I'm putting it horizontally, or vertically I meant, onto each of the studs. And it looks like I dulled my blade here. Got a nail in the way. Take that out. Hard piece of wood there. The rest is going right into a knot. Come on. Calling now. Nobody that I'm answering. Almost there. Another nail. Now that I've got all the spacers in, I gotta clean out those holes because I just don't like loading up or having a bunch of junk in my walls when I go to put things together. I just think it's shoddy to do that. So I'm gonna go clean out all the, between all the joists there, or joists, and get all that junk out of there. And then I will put the insulation in. So let's go ahead and clean out those holes, and most of it I will vacuum. So I'm going to have to put the microphone on mute again while I vacuum so that people's ears don't go crazy. But I should probably clean up some of the debris that is around here before I do that, so I don't end up knocking that in the holes. All this stuff I'm just going to stick in my fireplace. Makes great kindling. All right, so now I'm going to have to put it on mute here. If I find my cord. Around here somewhere. Looks like I well, I thought I had that muted, so I guess you listened to a loud vacuum cleaner. Okay, well, next I'm going to put in this insulation in here so I can stop the cold air from coming in. That's what I'm going to do. Now I did have a roll, but it was R19, so it was actually too thick because R19 is for 2x6 walls, and so I went and bought a package of R15, which is for 2x4 walls. And down in the hole here, I know you can't see it, but I'm going to actually plug the area that goes underneath the floor, so that no cold air can go through there either. So this is the insulation that I bought here, and that's all they had was the bats, so that's the kind I'm going to use. I actually wanted the roll because a roll of R19 is actually smaller, and this isn't quite as much insulation, but you know, I got what I got, so. Got a hoser in the way. Now, for those who watch other episodes, there is some spray insulation in these walls, and so I'm just going to shove this insulation up until it hits that spraying insulation. Six inches worth. And we got 12 inches down the floor. So 6, 12, and 18 is 20, 30, 6, 12, and 18. So we got 36 inches. And what I like to do to protect your floor, you know, just put a board or something underneath there when you cut it. And I'm just using a regular Stanley knife as a blade, or utility knife, whatever you want to call the thing. I am going to cut it out for the outlet that I stuck in here. You can see that. Even though I guess I don't have to, there's enough room behind it, so we won't cut it out. At least entirely. Cut it out some. Now, I'm not going to do this corner yet because I still got to run the wire up to the attic. So we'll do that at another time. So I'm going to actually try to stick this behind the wire, even though I suppose it doesn't really matter because the wire is right in the middle anyway. So, you know, you just do whichever way you do. If you put the wire behind it, then you can nail or staple your vapor barrier onto your studs. Got my stapler in here. So this piece is kind of short, so I'm going to save it for where I need to do some holes over here. So down in the bottom, in modern houses, they normally would take the floor joists and then they would terminate them onto a you know, a joist that goes across, but they didn't do that in this house. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take off this vapor barrier here. Then we're going to cut it to shove down that hole, or just probably put it in like that down there. But we're still going to have to cut it off because it's a little too wide. So. I'm just going to shove this down the hole. And I got to do that to each section. And then I'm pushing it actually underneath the floor. And it looks like it didn't stay folded when I stuck it under there, so. nail work. I'm going to take a piece of duct tape and just put across this hole that that's open. And this is the part that goes underneath the porch. And, you know, I realize that this duct tape probably wouldn't stay on there, but it'll make me feel good about what I did. Now I'm going to take this little piece here. We're just going to shove it in a crack here. Help plug things up. And when I have this insulation in, this room will warm right up, I'm pretty sure. So. Hammer go. Got some nails down this hole here, so I got to get those out. Well, I don't have to, but I'm going to. So let's see if I can do it here. 12, 38 inches piece. $33. That one's longer or wider. So I'm gonna have to put two pieces in there. Do a lot of finagling on this one. That just ain't thick enough down there. Now this one is empty. So this section of wall is empty. So what I'm going to do with it is I'm just going to try to shove up a piece of insulation as far as I can, because I'm not going to take it apart. And we'll see, I can probably go up as far as my arm can go, which is, 16, 18 inches or so. So that's how long we're going to make it. Let's try that piece. So let's see this part. So 30 inches, you got to have 11 wide. And have the hole down there plugged. Gotta do that first. That didn't work. Let's do a fold. See if that'll work. I don't know if I can get it up there. Well, we did the best we could. I'm gonna put some more duct tape on this before I start. Like I say, the duct tape is probably, looks like it's gonna do a lot. And as long as it stays on there, yeah, it'll do a lot. But if it comes off, well, then it comes off. All right, let's get another piece of insulation down in that hole there. Gloves. Well, maybe I'll be using most of this insulation anyway. Didn't think I'd use this much. Okay, let's take a piece down the hole. Didn't do that yet. Getting there. Now that one has nothing in it either, so gotta see how much I can shove up there. Quite a bit up there. Yeah. There's about how much I get. About 30 inches worth. Better nothing. A couple more of those, I guess. This is going to be tough to get down there, I'm pretty sure. Ugh. Ugh. All right, it's in. Woohoo! So there you have it. I have insulated the bottom. What I have not done yet, is I haven't stapled it down. I haven't got the stapler up here. So I'm going to, in the interim, before I start the next broadcast, I will be feeding the wire down from the attic to hook up to this outlet here for the wiring that I'm putting in. I need to staple all of the batting, the vapor barrier down, and and then after that, it's putting the sheetrock back on and putting it back up. So that's what's got to be done after I do that bit of electrical work. Actually, I probably should do all the electrical work next, because I have to take the ceiling fan down, and I'll probably turn the streaming on for that. But thanks for watching, if that was of interest to you, and I'll try to bring you more wonderful renovation viewing. Thanks for watching the Myles Revolution.